One of my favorite quotes is by T. Morris, describing baseball. It was written in 2008 from a book, The Case of the Pitcher's Pendants, a Billy Bob Budding's mystery. If there was magic in this world, it happened within the sight of three bases and home plate. The game is pure magic. Almost everyone has either played a game of baseball or watched one in their lifetime. I've played baseball since I was 5 years old and have learned to love the history behind it. The game of baseball has an interesting history and has developed over the years into the game we know and love today. It's one of the most popular sports out there and has gotten the name America's pastime over the years. In this section, I'll be talking about baseball's beginnings, and in order to understand how big it is, you have to know its beginnings. Abner Doubleday founded it in the early 1800s. He was a Civil War hero and he was from Cooperstown, but that was actually a rumor that he founded it. In the article, Who Invented Baseball, written in 2013 by the History staff on the History Channel's website, the writers state that Doubleday is incorrectly given credit for founding it. It was actually colonists from Europe that came to America and made the game from rules from cricket and rounders. The first game was played in Hoboken, New Jersey in 1846. It was played by the New York Nine and the New York Knickerbockers. It was a blowout game that ended with a 23-1 score. The basic rules were made from Alexander J. Cartwright, and they were that it has to be played on a diamond-shaped field, 9 players on the field at one time, 2 foul lines, and 3 strikes and you're out. There's also another rule where you could throw a ball at a runner to get them out, but that was before they had gloves, and they introduced gloves and got rid of that rule. There are many events that impacted the game over the years. I'll be talking about these significant milestones that baseball has overcome over the years. In 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings, also known as the Cincinnati Reds today, became some of the first paid players in baseball's history. In 1875, the National League was formed, and they monopolized baseball as a whole. But in 1901, the American League was formed, and they were pretty much rivals up until there's an article by Braden Smith called Baseball Origins, Growth, and Changes in the Game. The National Baseball Commission was made between the two when the National League made it in 1903. And this ultimately became Major League Baseball, and that was born. In the early 1900s, there was the dead ball era, where baseballs were softer and wore out during the game. So there was a lot of small ball. There was a lot more stolen bases and hit and runs. But in 1909, the cork-centered baseball was invented. Averages for players became higher and more home runs were hit. In April 1947, segregated policies for Major League Baseball changed drastically. Jackie Robinson became the first African-American player to play in Major League Baseball, and he played for the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1947. Henry Feder, in the article in 2011 called Racial Faults, Lines in Baseball, Grant Experiments, Black Perceptions, White Reactions, discusses the integration of baseball and quotes Robinson as saying, "Integration in baseball has already proved that all Americans can live together in peaceful competition. Overall, baseball just needs to keep up with the times. They have to remain exciting and popular games. Overall, changes just make it more entertaining for fans overall." One thing to do, they're trying to shorten length of games. Anthony Castor-Vince confirmed in an article written in March 2019 called Rule Changes Coming This Year and Next that the MLB will change the rules from 2019 and 2020 seasons that limits pitching changes and mound visits and reduces the time between innings. This will just ultimately cut down the game times. They're also integrating pitch clocks that will limit time between pitches, and after 3 batters, a pitcher can be relieved. They're also trying to modernize the game. They're trying to implement virtual reality that can let players play the game of baseball without even being on a field, and new programs such as higher tech cameras and technology to keep up with players' movements and keep statistics on them. This will keep fans attracted overall. The history of baseball and the development of it has helped evolve the sport into what we know and love today. I've talked about the beginnings, the significant milestones and future challenges that baseball has been through. And baseball has a long history and has made the game popular over time. It's been through many changes, but these have provided magic for current and future fans to come.